independence government to appease a sense of Muslim separatism. And over its years, its symbols, 2 flags, 2 constitutions, actively played into the hands of those who wanted to break Kashmir away from mainland India. It had to go. It had to go. It had no place in a modern India that prides itself on its unity of purpose. Even the Constitution declared it a temporary provision, because even the framers of the Constitution, though they might have given in temporarily to Nehru and his political compulsions, realized that in the long term, Article 370 would weaken national security, the national interest, the edifice of India's secularism, and, viewers, by extension, the idea of Bharat, Akhand Bharat. So when Prime Minister Modi's government in 2019 abrogated Article 370, it made those who didn't conform to the idea of a secular, integrated India very, very upset and angry. One player was Pakistan. But that is understandable and to be expected. Pakistan was, after all, created on the back of a separatism. Friends, Pakistan will want the breakup of India. But anyone who swears by the Indian Constitution, that itself said that pernicious articles like Article 370 should be done away with, they cannot be on the same page as Pakistan, can they? But beyond Pakistan, there are other players in this country, which include Islamists in the valley, as also a motley bunch, a small but motley bunch of Kashmiri politicians who still yearn for Article 370. You know why, viewers? Because it gave them the power to rule unquestioned over their Kashmir Valley fiefdom. Article 370 enabled a cabal to take control of the valley. This coterie has made it its life mission to overturn the abrogation of Article 370. The National Conference is one such party. It pains me to say it, viewers. But this party is in alliance, as you all know, with the Congress, that has also at one point argued for the restoration of Article 370. Even when the Supreme Court turned them away, these players are now calling upon the people of Kashmir to vote for them so that they can, through the ballot, restore Article 370. It's another matter that it's not possible. Even if someone were to sweep the elections in Kashmir, in Jammu and Kashmir, and come to power there, they cannot overturn the abrogation of Article 370. But this hasn't stopped them from making this promise to the people to arouse in them once again a sense of separatism. This pernicious agenda has been lauded by even Pakistan, friends, by even Pakistan. A top Pakistani minister is delighted that the Congress and the National Conference is on the same page as the anti-India establishment in Islamabad. If you don't believe me, listen in to Khawaja Asif. He's a minister of the realm in Pakistan. And what does he say? Pakistan's endorsement should ordinarily, viewers, have made Congress politicians cringe with embarrassment. But what does he say? He comes out and says, with great alacrity, I think restoration of Article 370 is possible. I mean, who is he to say this? But nonetheless, he says it. Congress National Conference have a strong presence in Jammu and Kashmir. high chance of Congress National Conference winning the elections. Viewers, Pakistan is so hoping that the Congress and the National Conference can come to power in Jammu and Kashmir. They're so willing. They are so wanting. They are so wishing. Why, viewers? So that they can further their pernicious agenda of separating, severing Kashmir from the mainland. This minister goes on to say, National Conference has mentioned it in their manifesto. Pakistan also wants Article 370 restored in Jammu and Kashmir. Listen in, viewers.
हमारे पास पॉसिबल है. देखें, बड़ी पोटेंट इस वक्त प्रेजेंस है वहाँ पे कांग्रेस की भी और नेशनल कांग्रेस की, दोनों की. और इस इशू के ऊपर जो है मेरा ख्याल है कि जितनी मोटिवेट हुई है वादी की पॉपुलेशन, स्पेशली वादी से बाहर भी, लेकिन जो वादी में जो हुई है, तो मेरा ख्याल है कि उनको बहुत चांस है कि ये जो कोलिशन है ये हुकूमत में आए. और जैसे कि उन्होंने प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस में कहा है, बल्कि ये एक इलेक्शन इशू बनाया हुआ उन्होंने कि स्टेटस जो है रिस्टोर होना चाहिए. तो स्टेटस अगर रिस्टोर हुआ तो काफ़ी हद तक जो एक हमारा भी बड़ा एहतजाज रहा है पिछले 4-5 साल में इस इशू पे, बिल्कुल हमारा भी ये डिमांड है.
We're on the same page, he says, as the National Conference and the Congress Party. Pakistan's endorsement should ordinarily have made Congress politicians cringe with embarrassment. After all, no Indian, and let me underline that, no patriotic Indian would ever like to think that he is advancing a Pakistan point of view on an issue concerning the Indian national interest. But the Congress is yet to come out with a firm clarification that declares where it stands on the national conference's, its allies' demand to reinstate Article 370. The party can no longer get away from merely pointing out that its 2024 Lok Sabha and Vidhan Sabha manifestos make no mention of this. This silence on Congress party's part, in fact, raises some pressing questions. First, is the Congress on the same page as Pakistan on Article 370? It's a direct question. It behoves upon the Congress to come out and clarify this. Has the National Conference made its mission to empower separatists in Kashmir? Doesn't the Congress need to renounce National Conference's stand on Article 370 to prove its commitment to India's national interest? And how can any Indian political party espouse a Pakistan point of view on an issue with vital consequences for India's national interest? Viewers, think about this. I'm opening this up. I'm going to ask some fundamental questions of our guests. Ahmed Ayaz is there with us. Mr. Tehseen Poonawala is there with us. Mr. Abhijit Iyer Mitra is there with us. We have Major Gaurav Arya there with us. Now let's begin this debate, viewers, by asking Tehseen Poonawala, who represents the Congress point of view, firm questions. Now, Mr. Poonawala, is the Congress party today furthering Pakistan's agenda? Number one. And how can you ally, the Congress party ally with the National Conference that has made its mission to empower separatists in Kashmir an agenda that actually finds favor in Islamabad? Mr. Poonawala.
Rahul, at the onset, thank you for having me on the show, and thank you to Major Gaurav Arya for his service to our nation. It is people like him that keep us safe. So thank you, Major, for your services. There are two fundamental issues out here. Point number one, and read my lips, Rahul. The Congress party or nationalists like me who vote for the Congress don't give a rat's whatever anatomy you want what Pakistan thinks or says. जब जब भाजपा डरती है पाकिस्तान को आगे करती है. BJP and Pakistan are two sides of the same coin. Pakistan, every election interferes when BJP is losing, be it Bihar, be it this. They are getting thrashed in Haryana. This is all being done for Haryana because they're getting in Jammu and Kashmir as many seats as the Prime Minister's press conference is 0. So they're doing this for Haryana. Point number 1. Point number 2, Omar is wrong getting it into his manifesto. It is not in the joint manifesto of the Congress and the NC. The Congress is not responsible for what Omar does, just as the BJP was not responsible when their now best friend Chandrababu Naidu's manifesto says 4% reservation for Muslims. All right? Just like the Tripura Liberation Front, with whom the BJP allied, says a separate state of Tripura outside of the Union of India, which means a separate country. They are not responsible, so is not the Congress responsible for what Omar Abdullah says. If the BJP thinks what Omar Abdullah has done is wrong, they should act against him. But enough of the BJP and Pakistan coming in between. The only person that has an ilu relationship with Pakistan for time immortal is the BJP. Be it Advani going to Jinnah's mazar and doing a sajda and saying he's the most secular man, or being Modi ji going to meet Nawaz Sharif, walking hand in hand without an invitation and coming back without any results. It is the BJP that loves Pakistan and the Pakistan that helps BJP. Read my lips.
Mr. Poonawalla, you talked about a joint manifesto. Can you show me that manifesto, please?
It will come out.
It's
coming out in 3 or 4 days. It has no mention of.
It will come out in 3 or 4 days. Viewers, the first phase of elections in Jammu and Kashmir.
A common minimum program. Sorry, I just thought about it. They will have a common minimum program when they come to government.
Where is
it?
When they come.
It has no mention.
If they come. If viewers.
When the government is formed.
No, 1 second.
They are coming.
1 second.
They are coming. BJP is winning.
Viewers.
BJP is winning. Or Mehbooba Chachi is winning.
1 second. Viewers, 1 second. I have to make one caveat here. Now, the BJP realized when it got into an alliance with the PDP that this Article 370 would be a problem. So, in their common minimum program, they decided to set it aside. Why did they do it, viewers? They did it because there was a real fear at that time, and you know the situation in Kashmir, that without the ballast of the BJP in government, things could go quickly out of control. Once they had the security grid in place, viewers, they decided that a time had come to do away with the PDP, and they dumped the PDP. And as they did that, viewers, in 2019, when Modi came back for a second term, they got rid of Article 370. And since then, of course, viewers, you have seen the transformation. Now, Mr. Poonawalla says the joint manifesto. We haven't seen the joint manifesto.
Sorry.
In the meantime, the Congress party is fooling the people of Kashmir by tying up with the National Conference. They're both championing each other. Viewers, the name National Conference that promises to bring back Article 370 that the Constitution itself said should be temporary, that Sardar Patel said should be temporary. And please, viewers, click right now on the Constituent Assembly debates, and you can see that all sensible individuals that had an iota of patriotism beating in their heart, just that much, said, don't do this. Article 370 is pernicious. Viewers, the Congress party today is in alliance with a party that wants to bring it back. Even the Supreme Court has kicked it out, and in its annotations, the Supreme Court has said that it actually perpetuates a culture of separatism. Gaurav Arya, what do you make of this?
Rahul, thank you for having me on your show, and I absolutely agree. Article 370 was the cornerstone of separatism in the valley, and to tell the people of the Kashmir Valley that you were somehow different, different from the people of India, and that is how they have always done it now. As far as Mehbooba Mufti is concerned, or the National Conference is concerned, yes, there has always been this kind of soft oblique hard separatism. It depends. It is the flavor of the season. Soft oblique hard separatism. We've been posted in J&K. We've seen it for many, many years in the Kashmir Valley, and also in certain areas of Jammu. Not all, because Jammu is different from the valley in these aspects. But yes, there are 2 points that I wish to mention here, Rahul. Number one, use of political parties by various of various designs like Article 370 to tell the people of Kashmir that you deserve a separate country because you're different. This is something like the two-nation theory. The two-nation theory was based on religion. This is also, in a way, not in your face. 370 does not talk about religion. Of course it does not. But the kind of radicalization that we have seen in the valley is something that, you know better, the kind of radicalization that we've seen. That is point number one. Point number two is that the people of Kashmir are being misled. That somehow if people, and that is exactly what Khawaja Asif is saying, that if the NC and Congress come to power, now NC and Congress coming to power has got nothing to do with Article 370. It has absolutely nothing to do because it's an act of parliament. Only the parliament can remove, can bring it back if you have that kind of a 3/4 kind of a majority, both houses, etc., etc. It's a long story. But for the gullible people of Kashmir, right, this is something that they are forcing down their throats again and again.
Right.
Vote for somebody. And I don't know much about politics. I will not comment on the political part, but definitely there is a Pakistan play here.
Well, let me tell you, viewers, and I'm bringing in Abhijit Iyer Mitra before I bring in Ahmed Ayaz and Sushil Pandit. This is what the Supreme Court said, that the state of Jammu and Kashmir does not have internal sovereignty different from other states. So by bringing back this Article 370, what are you trying to do? Are you trying to tell the people of Kashmir that they are sovereign, a state within a state, and they're free to do what they please?
Basically, you see, Rahul, what they're trying to do is, the key powers here are the financial powers and the Home Ministry powers. The control of the police and the control of the finances. And what had happened because of the conflict economy out there was almost 55% of the state was dependent on the security situation. They were incentivized in the insurgency one way or another. And every 5 years when a new government would come, they would announce some massive construction program, and 90% of the construction would of course go into the contractors' pockets, and through the contractors, it would go into the government's pockets. This is what Amit Shah was referring to when he raised, the issue of cement prices and things like that, when Article 370 was abrogated. Now, the process of abrogating, or rather reforming the constitution, specifically Article 370, was a straightforward. What they are talking about is retrospectively reenacting Article 370. I am yet to see a logical constitutional way in which an article that has been amended can be brought back without following all the articles of the constitution regarding constitutional change. Remember, it is very easy to get rid of a temporary article, but to bring it back is much more difficult. We have not seen the constitutional part. So the very charitable explanation is the Congress and NC are making fools of the Kashmiris. Number one. Number two, let us assume they are not making the fools of the Kashmiris, and this is in fact a very insidious plan. What is it a plan for? It is basically a plan to see to it that they line their pockets with they are incentivized in insurgency. They have zero transparency when there is an insurgency situation. They want to cultivate an insurgency again so that they can start profiting from it. You see, today, Kashmiris are making such insane money off tourism. You go look at 5-star hotels in Kashmir through the year, summer, winter, whatever. They are 5 to 6 times the cost of a 5-star room in Delhi at any given point of time, even in peak season in winter. The Khyber, for example, rooms go up to 1 lakh rupees, which you pay for a presidential suite in the peak winter Delhi tourist season. So this is something that they have planned very carefully. It has nothing to do with the nation.
So let me
ask.
Nothing
to do with the national interest.
Okay.
It has to do with corruption and lining their pockets.
Corruption, let me
and
ask
the corruption and lining the pockets is depending on reintroducing the insurgents.
There you go. Incentivizing insurgency, stoking a sense of separatism to profit from this, says Abhijit Iyer Mitra. He's getting into the politics of it, Tehseen Poonawalla, and he says this is the motive. Mr. Pandit is there with us. Ayaz Ahmed is there with us. But Mr. Tehseen Poonawalla, is even India's territorial integrity not sacrosanct anymore for the Congress party? How much do you want to divide us? Today, some of your great friends in Bihar started saying that there was an absolute atrocity committed upon Mahadalits by upper caste. They spread this fake news. It turned out it was only Mahadalits that attacked Mahadalits, as condemnable as it is. You tried to even use caste there to divide this country. Why are you doing this, Tehseen Poonawalla, is the question that flows from Iyer Mitra's observations. Why?
Okay, Abhijit is one of the best and most articulate both defense experts, and he understands the Constitution of India. So, like him, I expect you would understand, and everybody else here. Even if the Congress and NC win the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir, they cannot have dialogue with Pakistan. That is the domain of the center. They cannot restore Article 370. It is not possible. It is dead, buried, and it cannot happen. Period. So, the only person raising it is Omar, who's wrong. The other two people benefiting is Pakistan and BJP. And why is it every time there's an election, for example, in Bihar, where the BJP was in trouble when the Mahagathbandhan took on BJP, that time Pakistan came in. When other state elections where BJP is losing, Pakistan comes in. Now in Haryana they are losing. This is not about Jammu and Kashmir, but Haryana, where they are getting less than 20 seats. The Prime Minister goes to Haryana and says, oh, in Jammu and Kashmir they want to bring back 370.
I asked you a very
Does
specific
anyone ask the
question.
Prime Minister once, no, don't interrupt me. Once ask the Prime Minister, how will 370 come back?
Listen,
He is
listen
going to
one
Haryana.
second. Then why are you making it a
Haryana
promise?
want to
You
do
said
Jammu
that
and
Omar
Kashmir?
Abdullah is wrong. He says Omar
the
Abdullah is
NC
wrong. Tehseen Poonawalla, you said Omar Abdullah is wrong. You
One
said
second.
it, or am I misquoting you?
1000% it can't happen.
Okay, so
It
then
cannot
why
happen.
isn't Rahul Gandhi coming out
370
and
is
saying,
dead,
no, hang
buddy.
on, then why
Not
isn't Rahul
dead.
Gandhi coming out and saying we are making idiots out of the people of Jammu and Kashmir by using this as a plank? Why isn't he saying it? Because it comes back to Iyer Mitra.
I will answer it.
Yeah,
Your
answer.
questions are longer than my
Answer.
I'll
Answer. Why?
it.
Why isn't he
Because
saying it?
Okay, I'll answer it. Because Rahul Gandhi should not fall into the trap of BJP and Pakistan.
Oh, wow.
They want to divert it there.
Pakistan speaks on its own.
Jammu and Kashmir
Okay, the
statehood
crazy
and
logic.
winning
Viewers,
Haryana.
crazy logic
What
tonight.
Pakistan says,
Sushil
do not
Pandit,
give
respond.
a rat's anatomy.
Sushil
Pakistan
Pandit,
can
respond.
go die.
Crazy logic. It's not as if Modi has called this Khawaja chap in Pakistan and said, you say
can
these
go
words,
die.
and
Don't
he
give
hasn't
a
hasn't impregnated the mind of Mr. Omar Abdullah and Senior Abdullah to promise that they will bring back Article 370, which is a tenet of their own manifesto. Has he?
It can't come back.
Thank you, Rahul, for having me on the show.
It can't come back.
There is, I need to remind your viewers and my esteemed fellow panelists about what happened on 5th of August 2019 when our parliament neutered Article 370. Pakistan expelled our High Commissioner Ajay Bisaria, gave him less than 48 hours to leave the country. India has, in my memory, never expelled Pakistani High Commissioner ever. Not when Kargil happened, not when our parliament was attacked, not when Mumbai was attacked, not when Pulwama was done, not even when Uri was done, or various other reasons. Never. Number two, China on 11th of August, in less than a week, went to Security Council complaining about India, and twice again before the end of the year, 3 times to Security Council, and was shown the door. I don't remember India ever going to Security Council while we had very good reasons. We lost our soldiers. Our territory was transgressed. We never went to Security Council. China did over 370. What our parliament did under its jurisdiction with full constitutional mandate, open debate. Yeah, that is how important 370 is to China and Pakistan. We mustn't forget. Now, the problem here is 370 has cultivated a huge pro-Pakistan, pro-jihad constituency in Jammu and Kashmir. That constituency is capable of making and unmaking MPs and MLAs governments. You cannot forget Engineer Rashid trounced both Omar Abdullah and Sajjad Lone in Baramulla. Mahbooba Mufti herself had her nose rubbed in mud in the Lok Sabha elections. They know that the constituency they have built under the patronage of 370 today is still alive and kicking and should be counted upon to win them elections.
That is the reason why they are doing this. They are playing with fire.
Playing with
they
fire.
know, people know that this may not, this
playing
will not
with
happen.
fire,
They are not
incentivizing
gullible.
insurgency,
But
stoking a sense of separatism.
But Rahul,
Yes. Yeah.
yes, but 370 has become a dog whistle today order to aid jihadi supported people to get into the assembly. Today, we are faced with the prospect of democracy stamping approval on jihadi candidates making it to the assembly.
Yeah.
This is what is going to happen today. And these are the issues which become dog whistle. You cannot openly advocate separatism, but in the name of 370, you can get an entire mandate against Indian Parliament, against the decision of August 5, 2009.
Viewers, a month, 2 months ago, I had written pieces, articles, I've done shows saying this is exactly what is going to happen in Kashmir if you hold elections. Now, viewers, it is happening. And I want to bring in Ahmed Ayaz. Mr. Ahmed Ayaz, Tehseen Poonawalla is not an ordinary panelist. Don't make the mistake. He is a Gandhi family member. Okay? So he is speaking from great authority. He is not somebody that you should brush aside. And let me tell you, he says Omar Abdullah is wrong. He says Senior Farooq Abdullah is wrong. And I'm asking you now, sir, is the National Conference has the National Conference become, in fact, a spokesperson for Pakistan's two-nation theory, as Dr. Arya put it? Major Arya put it.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
No, not at all, Mr. Rahul.
Right.
Why? Because, you need to understand that how has 370 come about. You see, it has not just come from somewhere. It had been right from 1949, after negotiated settlement between Jammu and Kashmir as well state of the Jammu and Kashmir and the Union of India. So, as such, there is nothing Pakistan or anybody in between. Now that it has been unilaterally withdrawn somewhere in 2019 by the BJP led government, then this was on the agenda of the Bharatiya Janata Party right from beginning, saying that this has something to do with the militancy, or this has to do something with the situation in Jammu and Kashmir. No, I don't agree to that. Why? Because it has been there in place from 1949 up till its removal in 2019. That means almost around 70 years. So there was no militancy during all that period, excepting it started from 1990, that too for a different reason. So to say that the 370 is any way a problem, I don't agree, nor there is any logic in that. And,
come on, sir, this is the Supreme Court. Let me quote you to the Supreme Court. Fine. Forget about Modi. Forget about anyone else. Let me quote you the Supreme Court. Do you have faith in the Supreme Court of India? Yes or no?
Sure.
So let me tell you. The state of Jammu and Kashmir does not have internal sovereignty different from other states. This was said by the Chief Justice of India, Justice D.Y. Chandrachud, while reading out the judgment upholding the scrapping, the abrogation of Article 370. Now, viewers, if Omar Abdullah wants to take us back to a time when Article 370 applied to Jammu and Kashmir, what is he trying to do? In the words of the Chief Justice of India, he is trying to prove that Jammu and Kashmir has internal sovereignty different from other states. And that is what Pakistan wants, viewers. And that's why I'm asking Ahmed Ayaz Sahab this question. Why have you become a tool in the hands of the Pakistani establishment?
No, it is not that somebody is becoming a tool in the hands of the Pakistan. Question is, it's our internal issue. It is negotiated, as I said, negotiated settlement between the Union government and the Jammu and Kashmir. So it
Sir, was it not the same constitution that you are citing, Ahmed Saab? The same constitution you are citing said it's a temporary provision.
Agree, whatever.
So it is temporary, so it's gone. अब वापस क्यों ला रहे हैं उसको?
I don't plead. It will be whether it will be restored or not. I don't plead on that.
So then why are you making this promise? Then why are you making this promise? Are you fooling the people? Then you deserve to lose, sir. Then it's better to vote for Engineer Rashid. At least you know what you are getting. Then
no,
I advise people in Kashmir, vote for Engineer Rashid. At least you know what you're getting and we will be able to tackle this person straight on. We don't want these two-faced politicians. No. Then vote Engineer Rashid. Let's take them on.
No, let me explain. No, let me explain. Under 370, Jammu and Kashmir used to get
Sir, if you win, can you bring back Article 370? Straight question to you. If you win.
No, that's again a question to be seen in the future whether Parliament.
Seen in the future, you can't do it. You can't do it. You're not sitting in Parliament. The point is, viewers. No, 1 second. Ahmed Saab, I have to. Please tell me.
I would like to make a point clear.
Yeah, make a point. Make a point. Make a point. Make a point.
Even Supreme Court of India also has once decided in favor of 370 in the case of Sampat Kundu and the state.
Sir, so it's all been decided. The case is over. What are we saying?
Maybe Supreme Court changes it tomorrow. We don't know. Or maybe the Parliament takes a different view tomorrow. We don't know about that.
Oh, so you are now hoping to pack the Parliament with separatists so that you can overturn and give yourselves a separate identity. Viewers, there are people on this panel who have suffered because one community there thought that they do not belong to this country. And that person is me, yours truly, and that gentleman, Sushil Pandit. We're not fools. And Tehseen Poonawalla, you have said Omar is wrong. I am finding it very, very, very upsetting that if Omar Abdullah is wrong, Rahul Gandhi can't lean on his best friend to say, look, buddy, you're wrong. You need to get off this high horse of yours. You're misleading the public. I am not supporting this. Get rid of it right now. Or you come out right now in the next 2 days before the next phase with your common minimum program saying that we have decided to keep it away. Be honest.
Yeah, that would be my advice.
That would be your advice. Okay, I need to move on. Viewers.
But it is terrible. But
yes.
Can I get just 10 seconds?
Yeah, 10 seconds.
Just 10 seconds.
Yeah.
If you're going to pack Parliament, whatever happens, 370 is not coming back. It cannot. The only people wanting it is Omar, Mehbooba, Ghulam Nabi Azad and Pakistan.
And the Congress.
It's BJP.
You've got a certificate from Pakistan. They say that you want it. Anyhow.
Pakistan can take that certificate and use it as a toilet paper.
Well, viewers, look at that. Look at this. It's easier said than done. But the party that is in a position to tell us that it stands for the national interest first is silent. And family member of the Gandhi family says very clearly here, Omar is wrong. PDP is wrong. Others who are promising a return to Article 370 are wrong. Except, viewers, Rahul Gandhi has tied up with one major stakeholder, and let it not be forgotten, the National Conference is the principal party in Kashmir. Very significant. And I'm not here, viewers, trying to question anyone's patriotism. But I am only questioning tonight their intent. Where is this going to lead us, is the question. Viewers, we are seeing the impact of Article 371 on the Northeast. All of it needs to go as quick as possible. Let's not turn every India into an exclusive preserve waiting to break away. We won't have a nation left. Stop this now and you can do it. I want to move on, viewers. I want to move on. Very big story. Very big story. I have to say this several times. When a community doesn't stand together to protect its own interests, it usually ends up becoming a doormat. Hindus have stayed quiet when their temples were snatched from them by the state. They've kept quiet when temple funds were used for the uplift of all other communities. They've kept quiet when their customs were codified in isolation. They kept quiet when others were allowed to practice their religiously ordained customs. They kept quiet when they became refugees in their own land because of a genocide in Kashmir. They kept quiet when they were barred from accessing their holiest place of worship. They kept quiet when the state allowed another community to claim their land without question. They've kept quiet when their own Hindu brethren have been culled in Pakistan, Afghanistan, Bangladesh. And it is quite possible that they will keep quiet when it has been revealed that the prasadam handed out by the Tirupati temple managed by the previous Jagan Reddy regime was adulterated by beef tallow and fish oil. And not just that, there were other animal fats, making a total mockery of the sanctity of their beliefs. Indeed, the present Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh has made a stunning claim. Chandrababu Naidu, Andhra Pradesh Chief Minister, has said that Lord Venkateshwara Swami Temple at Tirumala is our most sacred temple. I am shocked to learn that the Jagan administration used animal fat instead of ghee in the Tirupati Prasad. Shame on Jagan and the YSRCP government that couldn't respect the religious sentiments of crores of devotees. That Prasad, viewers, goes all over the world to Hindus. Forget about just India. All over the world. The Jagan Reddy YRCP hit back at Naidu, accusing him of making the most callow accusations without a shred of evidence, just to consolidate Hindu votes, to create hate against Jagan Reddy, who happens to be from the Christian community. Now, for the first time, the results of a laboratory test have revealed that the laddus were made with oil adulterated with beef tallow, fish oil and other non-vegetarian adulterants, viewers. And here it is on your screens. We even have an image of that particular document, which we will put out in just a few moments. You can see it for yourselves. Viewers, the laddus were adulterated with animal fat. Animal fat detected in ghee used for laddus. This is what the report is saying. Beef tallow. That is that report, viewers. Beef tallow, pig lard used in Tirupati Prasad. Pig lard. Beef tallow. Viewers. Fish oil also detected in Tirupati Prasad. The revelations raise serious questions. Has Hindu Astha been desecrated because Hindus are soft targets? Is the BJP right in saying that the opposition cannot be trusted with protecting the rights of Hindus? These are some fundamental questions and they have to be asked tonight, viewers. And I want to go straight across to YSRCP spokesperson Konda Rajiv Gandhi, and of course, we also have with us Abhijit Iyer Mitra. Now, Mr. Gandhi, let me ask you this. It's a very fundamental question tonight. The report is out. Will you take responsibility now that the report is out?
First, warm good evening. The report which you are showing on your screen is really shocking to me. Before that, not only as a representative of YSR Congress Party, as a Hindu, as a devotee of Tirumala Tirupati Devasthanams, Sri Venkateshwara Swami Varu, as a devotee, I'm having few questions regarding the report which you are showing on the screen. When did the sample been taken, and when the test result exposed, and now only why and who conducted this test? There are few sort of questions. As of my knowledge, even I have gone through the report which is you are showing on your screen. In that it is clearly mentioned that sample was taken on July 8th, 2024, where the regime of Jagan Mohan Reddy's regime is completed by June 4, 2024 itself, and the new government under the leadership of Chandrababu Naidu ruling the state of AP, and the sample took on July 8th means it is the completely mistake of Chandrababu Naidu government. If at all the mistake happened, definitely it is he has to take responsible on this, not the previous government. Point number one. Point number two, we as a YSR Congress Party strictly condemn such kind of allegations especially from Chandrababu Naidu. Why? Because today almost 100 days were completed for the new government. They failed in handling the floods. They failed in serving the flood victims. They failed in saving steel plant. So this is a failure government of for 100 days. Thus they want to divert the politics. Diversion politics. Today what they are showing on the face of Tirumala Tirupati Devasthanam is nothing but a diversion politics. But in case if such kind of adulterations have happened, as a party representative, already the former chairman of TTD, Mr. Subba Reddy, openly challenged that he will come along with his family to take oath on the name of Sri Venkateshwara Swami Varu that there is no adulterations in Laddu as conducted in that time period. So is Chandrababu Naidu ready to do that? And not only that, if Chandrababu Naidu or the central government, we are ready to face the CBI inquiry also. We are ready for that also.
Well, that might happen. But anyhow, Mr. Gandhi has made some points. Now, viewers, first of all, July 8th, he says test this, that, the other was done, by which time the YSRCP government had handed over charge to the TDP state government. Now, viewers, think about it. Why would a chief minister of a state implicate himself? Would he do it? Why would he make such a hue and cry? Had this test result come, would he go public with it, viewers, if it was to reflect upon him? Yes, the test might have been conducted now, but when were the laddus made? Viewers, there is something amiss here. And we are going to see some buck passing. Abhijit Iyer Mitra, the real problem really is that the Hindu community, whichever way you cut it, has been walked over once again. Completely. How do you see this? Number one, this entire thing that has appeared now on the back of what Mr. Naidu has said. And secondly, what do you think should happen next?
First up, I find the spokesperson's argument to be quite astonishing. If a new government comes in and carries out a test, why was the test carried out in the first place? Because the quality of the product was suspect. Assume a murder happened in the last government and this government digs up evidence of that murder. Does that mean this government's law and order has failed and is responsible for it? So this argument doesn't hold water, number one. Second, we're dealing with the dilution of quality that happened during the YSRCP. This was widely publicized. They did not buy a certain brand of ghee. They shifted suppliers, and all of this, by the way, is in the public record. You just have to Google this. All of this happened under YSRCP. Who appoints the TTD trustees and things like that? It is the government of the day, which in that day was YSRCP, that made all those changes. Where does command responsibility lie as per that? The person making those changes, which is YSR himself, Jagan himself. Now, where is the doubt here that YSRCP and YSR himself are responsible for this?
Mr. Gandhi, would you like to respond, sir?
Yeah, definitely.
He's giving you facts.
No, see, simply, I'm also a High Court advocate of Andhra Pradesh. Simply, he related the Prasadam matter to a murder matter. Murder matter is a completely different thing when you compare to this. First of all, the Prasadam...
Rama, how are you an advocate, ma? How are you an advocate, ma?
Why,
Rama?
Rama, Sri Krishna, Krishna, Rama, Krishna, Krishna, Hare. Hare Rama, Krishna, Jagannath, Premanand.
He doesn't know basic
Hare Rama, Krishna, Jagannath, Premanand, kya hua re? मेरा बात भी सुना भाई, मैं कैसा एडवोकेट बन गया, फिर दूसरे डिबेट में मैं बात करते आपके साथ, ठीक है? चबुतुन्ना మీరు ఆగాలి కదా, చెబుతున్నా మీరు తెలుగు
మాట్లాడనా? One second, Mr. Gandhi, 1 second. Let me ask you. When did YSRCP exit office?
On June 4th, at the time of results day.
Right. Now, viewers, the report came out on 23rd of June. Okay.
When did the sample took?
One second, sir. One second.
Yeah, please,
we'll get to it. One second. Now, viewers, the sample receipt date was 17/7, which is precisely about 17 minus 4 is about 13 days after the demission of office of YSRCP, viewers. 13 days is all it took. Now, viewers, we don't exactly know when this particular box or batch of prasadam was made. But it stands to reason that the moment the Naidu government came in, now if you want to be lawyerly about this, viewers, stocks last about a week or so. It would have been just around that time. So there is reason to believe that this practice had continued. After all, viewers, the stocks of that ghee, of that oil, not ghee, but the oil that were used, were not bought on that one day. They would have been purchased earlier. We'll get to those dates. Theirs will be revealed by an inquiry. It's not as if every day, it's not like a car, where you go and fill gas. In fact, most of us don't even fill gas every day. We take about 3 or 4 days, we fill 2,000-3,000 rupees worth of gas if we have that kind of money to run our cars. So we can go to the petrol pump after 3 or 4 days. We don't line up every day at a petrol pump. The Tirupati board would have bought these oils, this provision to make all this prasadam much in advance and would have been using it consistently for a period of time. You want to get lawyerly about this, Mr. Gandhi, then let's get lawyerly about it. I was hoping that you would at least begin by saying, look, as a Hindu, I take responsibility. I didn't hear you say that. I said, I'm deeply shocked, you said. You said, as a Hindu, you have not taken responsibility, Mr. Gandhi. Why?
See, well, let me see. As of, if your statement was concluded, then please give me a chance.
I've concluded, sir. I've concluded.
Yeah,
you want to be loyally, so then
much.
Let's be loyally.
No, yes. Loyal should be from the both ends. Okay, you're in a judge position who have to speak on a overall version. But it's unfortunate you're saying one end of the part, and I don't know why you are leaving the other end of the part. Let me tell you, as you said that after the completion of Jagan sir's regime, almost from 13 days or 14 days, they took the sample, and you said that definitely there have been stocks are prepared, and the stocks will definitely lie for 1 month itself, because we all bring the prasadam to our houses and we'll eat minimum for 1 month, keeping in a refrigerator or something, whatever it may be. But the thing is, once after the charge been handed over to the new government, there is a chance of any kind of alterations can be wantedly made by the government.
Oh, I see. So now, viewers, we are being told, okay, this is a conspiracy to frame Jagan Reddy, that all the laddus were injected with all this. Viewers, no, hang on. Or made as a special batch and then taken. Oh, wow. So you are now accusing the Tirumala temple authorities of demeaning their own faith. Is that what you're saying? That they would conspire in such an ungodly sin? Not only that, he says.
Not only that. See, there is a clear-cut conspiracy.
Viewers, let me tell you.
There is a clear-cut conspiracy. They're trying to degrade the fame of YS Jagannath.
In no other denomination in this country would this have been tolerated. Let me tell you this. Ayyar Mitra, quick response before I move on. 30 seconds.
I have nothing to respond here, Rahul. The command chain is very clear. The disruption, the change of the suppliers is very clear. What more do you need? It's a open and shut case. There is nothing more to be said out here. Now, I don't know what the motive here was. Was this a deliberate attempt to, insult, demean, and direct hate towards the Hindus who believe? Because, the Vaishnava tradition is very clear. Unlike the Shakta tradition, which accepts meat, the Vaishnava tradition is strictly vegetarian. Was this done deliberately, or was this corruption and cost cutting? Mind you, from a government that strips the TTD of all its money and diverts it towards its own expenses.
Well, look, these are charges. All of these will fly around. Unfortunately, viewers, we need an independent inquiry into this matter.
We welcome the independent inquiry.
Fair enough. I leave it at this, viewers. But remember what I began by telling you. A community that can't stand together to fight for its own rights becomes a doormat at the end of the day. Wake up. I leave it at this.
Rohan, if I could begin with you, first of all, I'm sure the Congress would say that no such promise of, returning to Article 370 has been made in the Congress manifesto. Then why be concerned about what the Pakistan Defence Minister is saying?
See, you cannot just say that it is not there in your manifesto. You are fighting this election in pre-poll alliance. You have seen National Conference manifesto. They are talking about talks with Pakistan, trade with Pakistan, 360, 370. NC's manifesto is very clear. When you are fighting election in pre-poll alliance, that clearly shows what are your views. And these are not my words. These are words of Pakistan Defence Minister, where he clearly endorses views of Congress and NC. So I think the question is that why our opposition, why our enemies are supporting your views? This is the first time in history of Indian politics the opposition party is supported by our enemy, and still they have no answer for that. So I think there are questions which Congress party and NC needs to answer, that why Pakistan is happy with their stance. If your enemy is happy with your stance, it means that stance is wrong. So I think Congress will have to come clean. What is their clear-cut agenda for future? Otherwise, people of the country will not leave them.
All right, Ashpreet Khadial, let's have it straight from the horse's mouth. What explains the Congress party's silence when all of this chatter is going on? We've heard National Conference's view. It's very much on the manifesto, and you may say that you've not made any such promise, but you're very much in alliance with the NC. So what explains the silence?
Well, the logic that has been given by the Bharatiya Janata Party and the spokesperson here is that a person has supported your statement, therefore you are responsible for that. That is the logic that they've given. First and foremost, if Mr. Modi gives a statement and an ABC or any sort of person with any sort of history, background, character comments upon it, supports the statement of Mr. Modi, would it have anything to do with Mr. Modi? Would Mr. Modi be held responsible for that? Would he be accountable for that? And if you do give this logic and if you're ready to implement it on yourself, I won't give you examples of these kind of people supporting your statements. I'll give you example of Tariq Ahmed Mir, a person who was given ticket by the Bharatiya Janata Party in 2014, who was arrested in 2020 by the NIA because he was procuring weapons for Hizbul Mujahideen commander Naveed Babu. I'll give an example of Talib Hussain Shah, the BJP's office bearer who was Lashkar-e-Taiba's terrorist, who was captured by the locals. I'll give an example of Dhruv Saxena, 2017 BJP office bearer who was found to have links with the ISI.
All right, I'm going to actually take those examples from Rohan Gupta, but you've still not answered my question. Why not go on record and condemn everything that is being said by Khawaja Asif today?
Well, number one, it has nothing. I mean, the logic that I've given makes it crystal clear as to why we do not have to respond to that. It has nothing to do with us. It has nothing to do
with you when you are in an alliance with NC that has promised to come back or return to Article 370.
One second.
What is the Congress position is very important. You release your manifesto on last day of campaigning. Still, nobody knows if you will continue your support. As far as NC is concerned, when it comes to the promise of returning to Article 370, there's been no talk about that. There's been no condemnation. This when Rahul Gandhi himself said that, they do not approve of the kind of terror that is emanating from Pakistan. And so what is your position when it comes to trade and dialogue with Pakistan, something that's been endorsed in the NC manifesto?
Our position is one, that the BJP gives us Pegasus for a day so that we can tell who, gives a direction from here and it gets followed in Pakistan by the top leadership, by the ministers. Number two, we all remember the Pakistan frame that the BJP has when Mr. Modi went to Pakistan, hugged Nawaz Sharif, the then Prime Minister, had Kashmiri chai with him, had biryani with him, broke the protocol, sat in his chopper. The very country...
you have still not answered the question. You are harping back to what happened in the past. Two wrongs will not make a right.
Nobody is saying that. I'm answering a question. It has nothing to do with us. It's not in our manifesto. We haven't said it. However, the BJP...
But you are in alliance with NC. Rohan Gupta, please go ahead.
The BJP had terrorists in their party.
Okay, what about giving tickets to terrorists? Rohan Gupta.
A very simple question to Congress spokesperson, and he is not answering the question because he doesn't know the answer. See, the question is very, very simple. When you are in triple alliance with somebody and they declare the manifesto...
Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be embarking on a landmark 3-day visit to the United States of America. Mr. Modi would be first going to Wilmington in Delaware for a Quad Leader Summit. On September the 22nd, the Prime Minister will be in New York, where he would hold a big community event for the Indian diaspora in Long Island. On the 23rd of September, the Prime Minister will be attending the UNGA's Summit of the Future. CNN News 18 will be in the US to track every engagement of the Prime Minister.
To say you are with them or you are not with them. You cannot be everywhere. They are very, very clear. NC's manifesto has been very clear. They want separate flag. They will return Article 370. They want trade with Pakistan. They want talks with Pakistan. The question is very simple, whether Congress party endorses these views or not. If not, then why they are in triple alliance? Number two, now Pakistan has also endorsed this view. So does that mean that our enemy Pakistan, don't speak in between, I never spoke in between, right? So does that mean that if Pakistan stands, if Pakistan wants return of 370, do you feel that is good for the country? I think it's a big question to a national party. It's not only about Jammu and Kashmir. It's a repercussion, since Congress is the national party, the repercussion is all across the country. You cannot just play around in between. Not here, not there. You should
Nasir
be very
Lone,
clear.
I'd like to bring you in. Okay, let me also bring
in
in the National Conference spokesperson, Nasir Lone. Nasir, I'm sure such a pre-poll alliance wouldn't have happened without support from the Congress party. NC is very clear that there is support coming in. What has given the Pak Defence Minister the kind of confidence to say so, that they are on the same page as Pakistan today, if the Congress was not, if actively and verbally, but silently supporting your manifesto?
My first and foremost, good evening to everyone first of all. My first and foremost question to all of you is what is the problem with Article 370? Article 370 was given by Indian Constitution. It was way within the ambit of the Indian Constitution. It was the link that, joined the princely state of Jammu and Kashmir with the Union of India. What is the problem?
I'll tell you what the problem is. You tried to pass a resolution in the year 2000 to restore the status of Jammu and Kashmir prior to what it was before 1953. That resolution failed. It completely bombed, and once it's already bombed, why would you bring a false promise to the people of Jammu and Kashmir?
It is something. It is
that happened during Farooq Abdullah's time as well, and you don't seem to have learnt your lesson.
Okay, it is not a false promise. It's absolutely that we believe in. It is what we consider as the right of every citizen of Jammu and Kashmir. It is something that was promised to the people of Jammu and Kashmir. It was something that was given by the Parliament of India to the people of Jammu and Kashmir. So we see no wrong in asking for our own right. Two, the abrogation of Article 370 was done in absence of any elected government, any elected representative, any elected member from the Jammu and Kashmir Assembly. So, and coming back to what the BJP spokesperson was saying about Congress, they should actually ask themselves, when they made an alliance with the PDP in 2014, what was PDP's manifesto? Were they against Article 370? No. They talked about self-rule. They endorsed the 370. They spoke about talking with Pakistan. They spoke about trade with Pakistan. Why did the BJP form the government with them? Why was
I'm sure Rohan Gupta, you'd like to respond to that. That's a very valid question being posed by Nasir Lone.
Absolutely. I don't shy away from the questions, and I will answer the question. But after that, I need answer from Congress and NC board. See, there is a difference between pre-poll alliance and a post-poll alliance. That was the election where there was no clear-cut majority to any party. And after the elections, if you form the government, obviously there will be common minimum program where you don't agree with all the points. But when you go into pre-poll alliance, it is a very clear-cut thing that both the parties align in their manifesto. And that is the question Congress party is not able to answer. Akanksha, it's not about one state. Again, I am telling you, Jammu Kashmir is a very crucial state to us. Maybe NC can have their own compulsions. But the question is to Congress party, what is their stand? They are not very clear on 370. They are dilly-dallying both the seas. You cannot go do like that. Because if Pakistan is supporting, endorsing your views, there is something seriously wrong with your view. Same way, if Pannu, the terrorist, he supports Congress party leader.
Namaste, Jai Hind, and welcome to this edition of The Right Stand. I'm Anand Narsimhan. Another giant leap in the moon mission after the successful landing of the lunar South Pole. The Prime Minister Narendra Modi-led cabinet has approved the fourth mission to the moon, Chandrayaan-4, for bringing lunar mission samples or lunar samples back to Earth. The cabinet has also given a green light for the building of the first unit of the Bharatiya Antariksh Station by 2028 and its overall completion by 2035 by increasing the scope and nearly doubling the budget of the Gaganyaan follow-on missions. Now, with the centre launching a slew of initiatives to bolster livelihood of farmers, government's record of empowering the agriculture community is unparalleled. With the release of the 17th installment of Prime Minister Kisan Samman Nidhi of 20,000 crore rupees that's been distributed to 9.3 crore farmers so far